This is Twit.
So tell us all about Amazon and Kohl's being buddy-buddy. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured this out as a regular customer, I wanted to return something and I went online to my orders and my account and tried to return something. And it turns out they're trying to kick me to Kohl's. And I think that's kind of problematic just because, you may not be near a Kohl's. It may be a trek out for you. It may be inconvenient. The whole point of Amazon is to buy online, shop online, and easy returns. And they promote this pretty heavily. They added millions of items this holiday shopping season to their free returns. And now they're asking us to kind of go to Kohl's. Now, they started this program as a pilot program in 2018. And they expanded to over 1,000 Kohl's stores in the middle of this year. And I don't think a lot of people are aware that this is the first option for a free return. And it's kind of why I wrote this little opinion piece, because I don't think a lot of people realize this. And for some people, it may be convenient that going to Kohl's is, it's a free return. It's an easy trip. But like for me, I live in New York City, and not to be like, single myself out or anything, but like millions of people live in New York City, and there isn't a Kohl's within, a subway ride, so not very convenient.
Yeah. So this was interesting to me. In your report, you kind of talk about how you very rarely make returns, and I kind of fall into that too.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
It's rare that happens, right?
What's that?
I was just saying, I was confirming, that it's rare that happens, that you make a return. So whenever it does, you're kind of hoping that it's going to go quickly.
So previously I'd make a return and Amazon would give you a free label that you can print out, tape to your package, and then drop off your return item to a UPS store or a UPS drop-off box. Now they've kind of complicated things with multiple options. And so your first option is most likely going to be to bring it to a Kohl's. Your second option is going to be bring it to a UPS store and let the customer rep pack and ship your item. And both those are free. But it's weird to me and very bizarre that if I want to print out my own label, pack it all myself at my own convenience, drop it off at a store, and not have to wait in any lines, deal with any customer reps, really, they charge me money for that. And I really want to know why. And so in my probe, I kind of came to the conclusion that maybe, if I'm being an optimist here, maybe Amazon is trying to discourage returns by, making it a little bit more inconvenient, a little bit of hassle, but that's kind of a stretch, Amazon is a massive corporation. They, again, advertise free returns on millions of items. And I don't think that they are genuinely trying to discourage that in such an indirect way.
In your time looking into this, where did Kohl's come from in all of this? It seemed kind of random to me that suddenly it's like, oh, Amazon's got this relationship with Kohl's for returns. I
mean, it's a good partnership for Kohl's, first of all, because they've got dwindling foot traffic, and this gets a lot more people into their stores. You're in there, you're making a return, and they also give you a coupon, I think up to 20 or 25% off an in-store purchase. And so they said that, Kohl said that they're getting a lot of younger people into their stores. And, young people are definitely not shopping at Kohl's or TJ Maxx or, any of these department stores that are no longer, convenient for them. And so they're trying to get more foot traffic into their stores. And Amazon is spinning this as they're utilizing Amazon's infrastructure. So, Amazon is handling all the returns. Kohl's is handling all the returns. And so they don't have to invest in as much, customer service in their warehouses. And, they can kind of double up on Kohl's network. And maybe it actually helps reduce, their carbon footprint and, reduces the amount of transportation that they have to use, the coal, all these things. When you think about the amount of returns that must be processed by Amazon every day, it's got to be insane, and they're just stored in these warehouses, all your items, and most of them actually go unsold. They're not resold again as refurbished products, and they're just like open box or wrong sizes. And Amazon has a couple of options. They can try to resell them, which is very rare, or they leave it in this warehouse where it's just sitting there. They can't sell it, or they can kind of, destroy it. And I think in Europe, there was a new law that just came into play that is barring Amazon from destroying all these returned products. And they by 2023, I believe they have to find another solution. So whether that's working with another third-party vendor to try to resell these items, maybe in more emerging markets for less. There's a big return problem right now that honestly Amazon has helped create, and they have a responsibility right now to try to find a solution to fix it. And I don't think Kohl's is necessarily the only solution. I think more can be done. And that's kind of the gist of my story is I think Amazon needs to take more responsibility for this. And it can't just be Kohl's, it needs to be maybe it's expanding it to more department stores, other department stores, Sears, I don't know, JCPenney, TJ Maxx, and also leveraging their existing infrastructure, which is Whole Foods. They have a lot of these Amazon lockers, Whole Foods. Sure, there aren't as many Whole Foods stores. There are only 479 Whole Foods in the U.S. compared to over, I think, 1,150 Kohl's. But in certain areas, they need to use the data that they have and provide a solution that makes sense. So in New York City, where I live, there are tons of Whole Foods. There are more Whole Foods in Manhattan than there are Kohl's, which is zero. So how does Amazon, a massive corporation that knows so much about its Prime members, has all of our shipping information, not know that this is not the best solution for me?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where your thought that maybe they're discouraging returns comes into play for sure. Whenever you say, okay, you've got all this information, what's available to me and what's not, that I can't make those returns at a place that's closer to me. Now, you did include a little bit of a hack, we'll say, for a way to kind of circumvent these rules. So what's going on there, and why does it make you a liar?
Right. So if you choose, when you make a return on Amazon, it gives you a list of options, and the options tell you, is it the wrong size? Is it basically they're trying to determine if it's their fault, if it was their error, or it was my error, the customer's error. And if it's the customer's error and it wasn't Amazon's fault, then they try to charge you for this UPS drop off. So on screen right now, you can see that it cost me $7.26 to pack it myself, print my own label. I'm taking care of everything. And they want to charge me for that versus making me go to a store, which is inconveniencing me and millions of customers, and having someone else do all the work, or going to a Kohl's, waiting in line, having someone else process it. And the hack is you basically have to lie. You have to choose a reason that makes it seem like it's Amazon's fault. Now, I don't want to do that. I rarely do that because I rarely make returns. But it seems egregious that I and millions of other paying Prime members, we pay $120 per year, we pay for this service, and we can't get free returns. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can say it's the difference between this is my fault or the third-party seller's fault versus this is Amazon's fault. And if it is Amazon's fault in some way, like a bad description for the product, or something like that, then you can get the non-paying UPS drop-off.
So the problem is, I think there needs to be more that can be done. Amazon should be more direct with customers, especially if this is an indirect way to discourage people from making returns. Now, I want to believe that it is, right? And I think we all want to believe that. I think a lot of people want to be more environmentally friendly. We don't want land waste. We don't want e-waste. And if Amazon was more transparent about this, then, I think customers would make better decisions, and decide whether they actually want to go to a store or, ship it out. Because, according to data, it costs almost twice as much money to ship a product for a return than it does to go in store and return it. So I think it's about average is $3 to return something in store. versus $6 to, transport it and ship it back to a warehouse, get it processed and all that stuff. So it does save Amazon money if they can get customers into stores to return their goods. But again, it's a bad user experience, and Amazon built its entire empire on this ease of use, fast shipping, and fast and easy returns that they need to figure a solution that is better than this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, I feel kind of weird about hey, if you come into the store, we'll give you 25% off.
Come on. We
know you're gonna like it.
Got some clothes for you.
Got some candy here. Very weird.
It's very odd. And again, I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. It's a new policy that came into place in the middle of this year, or middle of last year, I should say. And I think a lot of people are waking up post-Christmas, post-holiday season. Today is the 2nd, and it's unofficially the National Returns Day. And a lot of people are realizing, oh my God, what the heck is this Kohl's policy? And like me, I found that out a couple of weeks ago. And so I decided to write this editorial just because I think it's kind of as a PSA, I think a lot of people are not aware of this. And Amazon and Kohl's and a lot of people are spinning this as like, this is great because, it's so easy. Just go to a Kohl's. But what if you don't live near a Kohl's? What if you actually have to spend a lot of time going to a Kohl's, waiting in line for a person to process it? Then what do you do? How is that a better experience than just, letting me print it out for free, the label, and dropping it off at a UPS drop-off box, which there are many, or a UPS store at my own convenience,
Right.